A lot of young people are trapped and snared, really, by debt. There's credit card debt, student loan debt, personal debt, but there's one debt they don't really realize that's the real threat, the national debt. It can easily seem like not a real thing because a bill doesn't arrive in the mail each and every month with their name on it, but it's definitely real. It's more real, in fact, than any other debt. Why? Well, because there's no escaping it. If you have a high credit card debt or car loan debt or whatever, there are options. You can maybe eventually sometimes pay them off over a long period of time, or sometimes you declare bankruptcy, but there is at least a way out from under, and you do kind of get to start over a little bit with difficulty, but nonetheless start over if you declare bankruptcy. The national debt, however, 37 trillion and counting, is like a cancer, and it'll kill you. There's no escape. Think of it like a credit card. You keep running up the balance while making the monthly minimum. At first, you can swing it, at first. Then, because you're paying on time, the bank gives you more credit, more ability to charge more money and increase the amount that you owe, that principal balance. The increasing balance you owe now, as we said, increases the amount of your monthly payment because the interest percentage you pay doesn't necessarily increase unless you miss payment, but the actual size, the amount of cash that flows out of your bank account each month is increasing. Soon, you don't have as much money in your account as you used to have. And because you keep spending, charging things on the card, the situation just keeps deteriorating. So now let's shift the analogy a little bit. Let's say you come out to say you find out that your card is really being used by someone else. Credit card fraud. You're in debt for huge sums because someone else has been charging stuff on your card and the bank wants its money, regardless of who's doing the charging. All of a sudden, you can't make the rent payment because you're paying so much on the card. Groceries have to be cut back significantly. You can't make the car payment anymore. And, well, you wake up one morning to find out your car's been repossessed in the dead of the night. This is what's happening to America's young people. The national debt is a gigantic, long-term debt where the interest payment has exceeded $1 trillion a year. More is spent on that interest payment than any other item in the national budget, including the military's defense. Imagine you're single, under 40, and bring home, let's say $4,000 a month. Your rent is $1,600, your car is $350, your grocery bill's around $500, and so forth. Now let's say the minimum payment on your credit card is $1,800, and that's just the minimum. You're never actually paying off the debt itself. It's there and it's not going away. And because it's so high and you have all those other bills, there's no way to even start paying it down. You are now officially frozen financially. You're paralyzed. You can't save any money and you can't get out from under the debt. All you can do is live hand to mouth with no end in sight. Even a higher paying job would have to pay you massively more money to have enough to even begin paying down the principal balance. Maybe get a second, third job. See, all of a sudden your time options are limited, your money is limited, your choices are starting to narrow down, and you become a slave then to that job or your second job or your third job. You need it. You're a financial prisoner. It's sometimes a little difficult to take a hardcore specific example like this and then extrapolate it to the life of a nation, but this is exactly what's going on. Older folks, well, will soon die out and not have the experience of the full weight of the debt because times for many of us used to be better. We were all able to save for a house and make car payments and raise a family and afford groceries and all that sort of stuff. Didn't have to make hard choices between those things. So for many under 40 today, however, well, that's not the case. Your paychecks are raided by the government. The very people who have run up that debt and personally profited are taking your limited money and making you pay for their crimes of fraud, waste, corruption, you name it. You can't just print more money. However, they can, and they do, making the existing money out there floating around worth less and less because there's more and more of it. That's called inflation. The more dollars in the economy inflates the cost of everything. Your future's being stolen from you, and it's happening kind of quietly little by little, each week or paycheck, it doesn't quite go as far as it used to. You find yourself making a choice here or there now in the grocery store, looking for cheaper gas, going out a little bit less often. The walls are slowly closing in on you. Your financial options are shrinking. And here's the really bad news. They're going to continue to shrink. That's what the communist deep state has handed you. It's time to fight back.